Hello and welcome back to this Let's Play series in Crusader Kings 3 Realms in Exile with Aragorn. Last episode we were still in the middle of a conflict here, so we're gonna try and finalize that. And then we're gonna do something about our military. I haven't presented the new troops, and we need to reform our military because we're still using a bunch of the old troops. Where is my army? It's marching south, isn't it? Here we are. What is going on here? Oh, there's an extra army sitting there. Okay. Um, we need to reform our military and we need to take over the desert. The reason I want to take over all of this is because I have way too many vassals. We need to limit Key and Belakar anyway. And without the Empire title, I can't pass the kingdom titles as rightful vassals. So we need to form the Empire title to be able to give away these kingdoms. Where would you be based? There, the Kingdom of Darsalan. That would be a special a kingdom formed by event. I'm not entirely sure how we formed that. We might figure that out in a different Let's Play. For now, the same territory will be the Kingdom of Abrakan, and we already have this. No, this is also a special event. We can form the Kingdom of Karsa. We're gonna do that because we have some vassals in here and we don't want Belakar to have that title. We can form the Kingdom of Koanoz. So those are going to be our rightful vassals now. Kingdom of Aulkar, we only hold one county. This would be the Kingdom of Aulkar. Belakar controls most of that. And that's about it for now. So what is the name of this kingdom then? Teja, which is part of the Dune Sea. Right, so the Tejan Confederacy and Teja are fighting over the same terrain, basically over the same counties. So we're gonna unpause here. Aragorn just got back from sailing. As soon as we can, we're gonna try and reach the Meneltarma, which I need to warn you is actually quite dangerous. If you've never done those sailing events, there is a chance Aragorn can die on that journey, but we'll see how things carry on. Where is my army? Move faster, please. In regards to... You are fabricating where? No, we want the duchy title, please. We need to fight you here. We are expanding. Let's see what is going on here. Did we take a claim for this duchy last episode? We did. Okay. So we can take that back whenever, and we have construction guilds in the desert. Here, let's establish that. Fight, fight, fight. More murder schemes. Give me renown. And we can go on a voyage. So we're gonna go on a voyage, and we're gonna seek the Meneltarma. It even tells you this is a perilous journey, a watery grave may await the unprepared. So we're gonna confirm that. We're gonna set out from Karas Kilarnen. We could bring some passengers. It's gonna be expensive, but I don't know if their life would get extended if they reach the Meneltarma as well. Let's see what happens. It's gonna be expensive, but whatever. Where is the military? The military, where is the army? Um, Generous is not ideal. Let's give you diligent instead. Can we intercept you? The sea calls. You want to tell my future? That's okay, I don't care. There goes that army. Who's raiding me? Right, so the orcs are raiding me. They have quite a bit of military, but not enough to actually be a threat. We're gonna let them raid for now, because there's nothing I can do. We're gonna set out to find the Meneltarma. And we're gonna use everything we know about Numenor to guess at its likely location. We can see here having the lifestyle of a scholar, Numenorian cultural heritage, or previous exploration of the history of Numenor will increase your chances of success. We are at 100%, so we're gonna confidently use that. We're gonna unsiege this. We're gonna fight off the pirates. Lose some stress. Have a new perk. We're gonna increase the maximum domain limit by +1. We're not great there. Right, so we encountered the sea monster, I think. Yeah, we found a sea monster with a long serpentine body and a crested head. It's like nothing I have ever seen before. So here be monsters, basically. We're not gonna flee. We're gonna fight it, and it tells you here that having the lifestyle of a strategist, blah 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 blah, increases the chances of success. We have massive success chance, so this is gonna succeed. We get the nickname the Serpent Slayer, or enough nonsense. He currently holds Romenda Sil. I'm not gonna take the Serpent Slayer. I'm just gonna have a drink. What was that? I just closed off. We are having weather issues, so now it's a stewardship challenge or a martial challenge, or if we can back off. The martial challenge has a higher chance of success, so we'll take the martial challenge. We get a martial lifestyle perk. We should have took the other one. Let's recycle that perk for wandering lifestyle. And we have a diplomacy challenge now, so we're gonna take the diplomacy challenge. We have mastered fear, and we can take bound by blood. And the next one is the fury of Ose. Right, so here is where the risk is a bit higher. It doesn't even tell you the chance. Having greater experience as a sailor and a larger, stronger sailing vessel will increase your success. So this is why we took the flagship, and this is why we leveled up our Master Mariner, so we can get through this safely. Our ship is gonna get damaged, but that's okay. and we found the Meneltarma. So at this point, we have a choice to make. We can either land on the Meneltarma, or we can merely admire it from afar. And here is the problem. You get a 90% chance, well, at least in this playthrough, we have a 90% chance that we're gonna be fine, or a 10% chance that we are deemed unworthy of such hallowed ground, and we will die. So we're gonna try and land. And we made it. Feel free to pause and read all of this. Aragorn is now stepping on the holy mountain of Numenor. And for that, we get a couple of things here. We're gonna reach the Meneltharma, which gives us life expectancy plus 40 years, and years of fertility plus 20, which doesn't really play into Aragorn unless you plan on cheating on Arwen. It also gives us a health boost, less stress gain, which is really valuable, and a bit of prestige, and a lot more prestige, and a bunch of other things, including renown. We also gained a Númenórean steel bow artifact. So we're gonna close this event, and I want to check, before I'm gonna pause, and I want to check who is with me on my travel. Just two. So do you get a bonus? No. It's gonna be in here. Reach the Meneltarma. So does Arwen have it? She has nothing. We're gonna check on the next voyage. But for now, we have reached the Meneltarma. We're gonna close this. Is there no one else on my travel? What? We were supposed to take people with us. We do have a artifact though. And that artifact was supposed to be a steel bow, not a Númenórean figurine. But we got a Númenórean figurine somehow. Even the Númenórean figurine is good. It gives you monthly renown increase by 5%, which is very strong. Do we have anything else in here? You lied to me, game. You said you were giving me a Númenórean steel bow. I did not get a Númenórean steel bow. That was a lie. Thanks, game. Even so, the artifact is good. That's the end of that particular war. They're gonna pay us a bit of money. Thank you for that. We're gonna disband our troops here. Are you still raiding me in the north? You are. That is a mistake. How soon are you going to reach? Quite soon. Let's not raise them there. Let's raise them here instead. Raise faster, please. That will do. Just reach them, please. Beat the hell out of them. And we got our stuff back. Thank you. We have another plague where? Far in the south. Okay. So we took this territory. We can feudalize it and give you a hospice. I don't think we hold anything else. No, we do not. So we can give this to a Auquag. Let's see the cultures. Yep, that's fine. We're gonna give this to a local noble. I don't care about holding that territory either. We can attack them before we attack them. I'm just gonna show you. Because we switched to Dunedain culture and we inherited a bunch of stuff, we now have access to great siege engines, so we're gonna have to get rid of these trebuchets. And we also have access to standing armies, so our army is not as big as it could be. So we're gonna address that. Um, and we have access to special troops. Now I've already looked at these off camera. The Munburgian Eored is still the best heavy cavalry we can get, in my opinion. Uh, we have access to Arnorian cavalry and Dunedain horsemen. Now the Arnorian cavalry uh, is pretty decent. It targets skirmishers and archers and it has pretty good stats. However, if we look at the Eored, you're not stationed anywhere. If we look at the Eored, it also targets archers and skirmishers and has slightly better figures for its stats. The only difference here is that the Eored take penalties in winter, and I think they have more penalties for certain terrain types. So these don't take penalty in normal winter, and they do have different buffs and debuffs. I'm not gonna go through all of these. We also have access to the Dunedain horsemen. The Dunedain horsemen have better stats than the Eored, but not by a lot. It's only slightly higher attack and slightly lower defense. They get no debuffs in winter, and I think they get less debuffs in certain terrains. However, the Eored target both archers and skirmishers, whereas the horsemen only counter archers. So I still think the Eored is better simply because it targets both of these. In regards to the rest of the troops, we have access to Gondorian Marines, which are a beefed up version of light footmen, but not by much. Their stats are not massively better. They also take bonuses in different types of terrain, but we're not going to use them because they're not that great in stats. They're fairly weak. So at this point for me, these are mostly flavor. In regards to our heavy infantry, we're currently using the guards of the Citadel. These are heavy infantry that target spearmen coming groups of 100. They have fairly good stats. However, we have access to Arnorian soldiers, and we have access to Araduir I Dunedain, and I think that's all of the heavy infantry we have access to. So between these, the guards of the Citadel only target spearmen. The Araduir I Dunedain target spearmen and archers, and the Arnorian soldiers target spearmen and light cavalry, which is interesting. Now, we're gonna take one of these two. It depends on you which one you want to have. The Arnorian soldiers are cheaper. They come in the same group size of 75, so less than the guards of the Citadel. The Arnorian soldiers have lower stats than the guards of the Citadel. They have slightly higher attack, but they do target two different army groups. So in my opinion, they're better simply because they counter both of these. However, we're probably gonna take the Araduir I Dunedain because they have higher stats and they target spearmen and archers. So we're gonna swap our guards of the Citadel with Araduir I Dunedain in a moment. In regards to spearmen, we're currently using the Dunedain Wardens, which they've served us well. They have high stats, high toughness. They target a bunch of cavalry, get bonuses mostly in forests and hills. We have access to, where is it? We have access to Dunedain soldiers, spearmen. Gondorian footmen are obsolete by this point. And we also have Wardens of Anuminas. Now, the Wardens of Anuminas come in groups of 75, whereas these come in groups of 50. So if we look at the Wardens of Anuminas, they target light cavalry, heavy cavalry, and camel cavalry, which is the same things these target. They also have comparable stats, but more importantly, they come in groups of 75 rather than 50. So I think the Wardens are better than the. So I think the Wardens of Anuminas are better than the Dunedain Wardens. They get bonuses, and these do get some penalties. So take that into account. However, uh, the better ones still are the Dunedain soldiers, and the reason I think they're better is because first of all, they target a bunch more army group, including monsters, which I don't think we're gonna see again, unless some of the orc factions develop them. But more importantly, they also target elephant cavalry, which we might see in the south. They take no bonuses, they take no penalties, they have very good stats, and they come in groups of 75. So if we look at the stats, they have slightly more attack, they have a lot more defense, and the fact that they target elephant cavalry makes them important, because I'm pretty sure we have nothing in here that targets elephant cavalry, so we're gonna need these soldiers. The monster thing is tasty, but it's not really relevant anymore. In terms of archers, we are currently using, never mind the Saurian shot bows, these are gonna go away anyway. We're currently using crossbowmen and Dunedain Rangers. We were using crossbowmen to get rid of Sauron's massive heavy infantry blocks. That's not really relevant anymore. We do have access to the retinue archers are from my accolades, I'm pretty sure. Um, well, I'm not gonna look into the retinue archers because I'm pretty sure there's a limit to how many you can have. They have pretty decent stats, but they're not really relevant. We do have access to Gondorian bowmen. The Gondorian bowmen target skirmishers and heavy infantry, but they're mostly obsolete by now. More importantly, we get Arnorian bowmen and Dunedain archers. Now, the Arnorian bowmen come in groups of 75, whereas the Rangers come in groups of 50. I did not recruit the Rangers of Ithilien, so I can't compare with them at the moment, but the Rangers of Ithilien had higher attack and lower defense as far as I remember. The Arnorian bowmen target skirmishers, heavy infantry, and monsters. They don't have massive stats compared to the Rangers, but if you're still dealing with monsters and heavy infantry, for that reason alone, they're probably better than the Rangers, because they target heavy infantry, whereas the Rangers don't. Um, but otherwise, their stats are unremarkable. They only take bonuses, they take no penalties, whereas these take more bonuses. I still think these are better, unless you're still dealing with massive groups of heavy infantry. But I don't think we're gonna replace with them anyway, because we have Dunedain archers in here. And the Dunedain archers have higher stats, they have high attack and lower defense. They only target skirmishers and heavy infantry, um, which is not fabulous, to be honest. The light cavalry is still relevant on the Dunedain Rangers. I'm probably gonna keep the Dunedain Rangers, and I'm probably gonna get rid of one unit of crossbowmen, because we're probably not gonna run in as many archer cav. There's still societies on the map that produce archer cavalry, and they can be dangerous. But even one group of crossbowmen will tear them apart. And these also target heavy infantry and heavy cavalry. So we're gonna keep one unit of this, but we're probably gonna swap the crossbowmen for Dunedain archers, because they target heavy infantry and they have quite high stats. And other than that, we're looking at the cavalry, which we've already looked at. We need to replace our trebuchets with great siege engines as well. So, because we finished the conflict, first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get rid of these short bows, which are completely useless, and we're gonna get rid of these trebuchets. And instead, we're gonna recruit the great siege engines, and we're gonna max them out because we want our sieges to progress as fast as humanly possible. What we could do at this point is also recruit another number of great siege engines. And the reason why we could do this is because if we split the army we recruit in two, then one group of siege engines is going to go to one army, and the other group of siege engines is going to go to the second army, which would allow us to effectively split into two armies that can siege at the same time. Um, We're gonna have a look at that in the moment. First, we're gonna get rid of these crossbowmen here, and we're gonna raise the Dunedain archers. We're not gonna max it out for now. We're just gonna get maybe about 15 of them. We're gonna get rid of the heavy infantry, and we're gonna replace them with Araduir I Dunedain. You can choose the soldiers if you want to, but we already have people that get rid of light cavalry, so I don't think that's as important. Um, Whereas there's not a lot of groups that get rid of other archers. It's mostly the cavalry that does that. We do have pretty effective cavalry. Both of them target the same groups. We're gonna keep the light cavalry because it's just a different group they need to counter. You can swap it though. You can swap it for Eored. People that target heavy cavalry typically target light cavalry as well. The spearmen are probably gonna do the same thing, but it's not important right now. We're just gonna swap the heavy infantry for Araduir I Dunedain. We're gonna recruit a bunch of these as well. Uh, that'll do for now. We already lost about half our money, which is painful to see. Um, we're also gonna get rid of these Dunedain Wardens. And we're gonna replace them with, where was it? With Dunedain soldiers, which target the elephant cavalry. So we're gonna raise a group of these as well. It's amazing to me that they're spearmen, but they're equipped with mighty swords. So I'm a bit confused of what is going on with that. And just like that, we've lost most of the money we had. We can still afford to raise some great siege engines. We're gonna do that. And there goes and there goes most of the money we had. Um, but that's okay because the next sailing voyage is gonna be on the Guathlo again to make some money. We're not gonna reach for the Meneltarma again on the next journey. You do want to repeat journeys to the Meneltarma, and the reason you want to repeat journeys to the Meneltarma is to get the artifacts from there. You want to give me your knight. Sure, sure game, whatever. Uh, you can get a bunch of good artifacts from there, all of which increase renown by percentages. And because we're gonna have kingdom titles in our own dynasty, we can give those artifacts to the kings of our dynasty, which will increase the renown gain from not just from Aragorn, but from some of the other kings in our dynasty as well. Uh, can we get that pop-up to stay, please? So we're currently getting some from a bunch of other people, most of whom at the moment are just dukes, all of whom at the moment are just dukes, but we can increase all of that once they become kings. So that is why you want to go to the Meneltarma again. However, you should probably... What? Why are you expanding in here? That is painful to see. Can we create this duchy? No, because you hold it. Congratulations, you're expanding in a direction you don't need to expand in. You're an idiot, and you're probably going to destroy the colonies in the White Mountain. We'll see how that behaves. But for now, we're gonna unpause. Uh, yeah, I'll give you another tax linen, I guess. Um, you want to have breaks in between the journeys to the Meneltarma, because if you land on that island too often. No, I want the duchy title game. The duchy title. Where is the capital? It's there. Fabricate some more. If you land on that island too often, you run the high risk of dying, basically. The game might just decide in its infinite wisdom that you're trying to move your capital to the Meneltarma and it's just going to destroy you. I forgot to move my development. Where do we have colonies? Here. No, not here. We've made a bunch of mistakes regarding our colonies. We can give that away to you. You are our vassal. How is this colony going? We can feudalize this. And we can establish a hospice there. We do have enough money. Let's build a couple of castles here. I've been meaning to do that. And you want me to come to a feast? I'm not interested. And we have colonies where? Here. Let's develop this. And we can afford one more colony. What is going on over here? You're building, you're building. We can continue to develop some more territory here. I did want to expand this duchy for you. So let's do that. We'll pause here for a moment. We're basically waiting on our military to replenish. We have inherited more territory. I'm pretty sure we gave this to a very young lady. So what just happened here? She died at sea. Wonderful. And you're old, and you're probably going to die before you leave an heir. We'll give you the duchy anyway. We'll tell you to convert faith. I'm just gonna pause the recording here for a moment. I want to take a quick survey of what is going on in the realm, and I'll be back in just a second. So here we are. Just had a quick survey of what was going on. I did spend a bit of gold on some more buildings, mostly hospices and fortifications. We have a few situations here. One of them is that this guy is now expanding into a territory that I did not want him to expand in. This is the Kingdom of Enedwythe. The kingdom title already exists. It's being held by this vassal here. He has the kingdom title. He completed his conquest of this duchy here. He has territory in a bunch of places I don't want him to have territory in, but in general, I do not want the Saruman people to hold any of their kingdoms because they're quarrelsome. We will see how we handle all of this. I'm still holding the Duchy of Harangren. However, I cannot exactly, we can conquer this, but unfortunately, this vassal here has a claim on it, and he's already quite well established. I'm rather hesitant to give him another duchy, so basically, we're probably gonna wait for him to pass away so that his pressed claim goes into an unpressed claim, We'll see how we handle this, but ultimately we want to give it to Rohan because they have a decision with this to make it part of the Kingdom of Rohan. So we're gonna need to tackle this expansion, and we're gonna need to tackle him. This area as well. There's this here that we need to give away to someone else. The duchy here we still need to take off of him. We were expanding here to give him this territory. More importantly, in the south, we have these two counties here that have broken off from this duke here, who previously held the Kingdom of Koanoz. So we're gonna have to take these two counties away before Belakar takes this one. We need to take this and this as well. The Empire of Ki has already taken a considerable chunk of Abrakan, but if we take this territory, we should be able to get the crown title and then war Ki for the rest of the Kingdom of Abrakan. I have no intention of taking de jure de jure Ki territory away from Ki, but I'm not gonna let them encroach into other empire titles. So on that note, we are still waiting for the army to regenerate. We're gonna finish with this particular tree here. I don't think we're gonna go for the rest of them. They're not that useful, really. The travel speed could be good, but it's not really gonna impact things in a major way. And we will switch to crafting. And the reason we want to switch to crafting is because we'll be able to enchant our own items. And the aim of the game here is to get items that increase health, because health dictates how long Aragorn can live for. So that's the reason why we're going to do that. We can see his health is being impacted by a number of traits here, some of which are from whole of body, some of it is robust, some of it is strong. We still need to level up the hunter thing as well because that gives a health boost as well. So basically we're gonna switch to enchanting and we're gonna start making our own artifacts, but for that we're gonna need a lot of money. We haven't gone into the artifact system at all, and it takes time to level it up. But the notion here is to get Aragorn to live as long a lifespan as possible. We're probably gonna squeeze about 300, maybe 300 and a bit out of him. So I'm gonna unpause the game. I'm gonna let the army regenerate a bit. You want an inspiration here. Let's see. He wants to go to High Pass and his skill is merely decent. I'm not exactly interested, but no, not with this decent skill. If he was legendary or master, sure, but not with decent. Dreams of a journey. He wants to go on a journey and he is restless until then. That's too bad. You're not gonna go on a journey anytime this moment. We are expanding here. Let's continue to build this. I realized I haven't pressed the button for buy the sword. We will need buy the sword, so I pressed the button for it. It's still gonna take 30 years to establish, which is fine. Aragorn is gonna live more than 30 years, and the reason we need it is to go to war with Rey, Anbal, Kumagan, and the rest of them in the south. So we're gonna let that carry on. Go away, I don't want to sponsor you. How is our army doing? Not quite there, but the army was expensive to replace, and our income has dropped a little bit. Hopefully these don't get conquered anytime soon. We can do a historical endeavor. Um, just for stats purposes, I guess we could. But ideally, I want to move my capital first. Can we do it in Anuminas? Does Anuminas give bonuses? It does. We could hold it here. That should be fine. The control level is really bad. Let's do this here. That should be fine. And in terms of what to search for, our stewardship is almost complete, so we probably won't benefit from that. Diplomacy is not so important at this point. We're probably gonna get some random experience in it. Intrigue. We could try to level up intrigue. There are some good ones in here, so we'll go for some intrigue next. Meanwhile, the army should be replenishing. We have a new perk. We'll finalize the inspector one. Development growth is nice. I don't think any of the other ones give development. We're gonna switch now to crafting, and we're gonna switch to enchantment, I think. And we're gonna go first through the enchanter tree, and then we're gonna go through the artificer tree. For the enchanting, there's nothing we can get that would buff how fast we get experience. So unfortunately, this is gonna grow slower than the rest. Slower than wandering, for instance, but we'll get them done regardless. Spirits banished in a cookie. Let's see. We can get rid of the bandits now. How are my other ones? You are still growing. And where was the fourth one? Here. Okay. My prisoner. That's nice. I did not realize we still had prisoners. Please ransom these away. And free the rest. An age to study. Let's go for let's go for the first one. We'll take the Children of Húrin, maybe. I don't think we need any more experience in all of these commander traits. They should all be leveled up. We don't want to be a witch. Let's go for the intrigue increase. It did not fire. Prowess, learning. Let's go for learning. Diplomacy. Stewardship. How much experience do we have in Mystic? Probably not a lot. Oh, we have some. Sure. No, we're not gonna go for deviant. Diplomacy. And there is a bug. So we're not gonna get the chance for another historian thing. So we're gonna get a fake book here. And the Children of Húrin gives Marshall, which we no longer need. We're gonna leave the books behind. I don't care about having the second book. That was unfortunate. We got a small stat increase. And where is... We got some experience in that as well. You want to give me a county title again, and we don't need a county title. What about this duchy? Let's fabricate on this duchy here. We're gonna need the duchy titles all throughout Belakar, so we can forcibly vassalize Belakar. Our army should be fine now. Yeah, it is. So let's declare war on him. We're gonna do holy wars on him as well. And we should be fine to declare on him as well. So we're gonna take the duchy away. We're gonna recruit our army here. And we're gonna split it in half. Come on with the siege engines. Bustling colony, but you still need development, so that's fine. Where was this built? That's part of my duchy. Okay. Siege engines, please, game. Game. Siege engines. Your submission alone will suffice. There we go. We can stop this now. Get rid of the special troops. And we can split this in half. And we can see we still have 270 siege engines there. And 270 siege engines here. So we can send this army north. And we can send Aragorn south. He has a lot more ground to cover, so we want to reach this duchy quickly. We can ransom people. I said we can ransom people. We can ransom more people. And you can head south to here. And more ransoms. And we'll get hooks for the rest, that's fine. That's the end of that one. We're gonna feudalize you and hospices. It is annoying that this is a clan realm vassal. This is gonna be part of what kingdom? This kingdom. I don't particularly care that he's gonna be a clan realm vassal. You can have your title. This is part of your duchy, isn't it? Yes. So that's the end of that war. We finalized that. Let's ransom him. Can we ransom the kid as well? We can. Get out of my dungeon, sir, before you die there. Right, so we can feudalize this. More hospices. And you are part of that duchy in particular. So I'll grant you the title. And that is Teja complete, I think. Yep. And you're part of the Dune Sea Empire, aren't you? Yep, you are. So we need to get more of the Dune Sea. He can wait there while Aragorn makes his way south. Someone is trying to kill Arwen. There's not a lot of success chance at the moment, but it has potential. Let's beat the hell out of them. Move faster, Aragorn. We're gonna beat the bandits for some gold. That's fine. It's been besieged. Can we ransom you for stupid money? We can. We'll take the stupid money. And we can still impose our victory, which is great. In the lordship of where? That's not great, but we'll pay for it. That's fine. We can get rid of the wolves now. And back to the matter at hand. We can get construction guilds here. We can disband the military. And we can feudalize these. We can give them to a local, including the duchy. It is Ardanese Poan. I do not think Poan is what we were going for. We're gonna go for Arani instead. Where is Poan coming from? From the south. No, 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 no. You're gonna have Arani. You are actually quite awful. We will give you the rest of it though. And we're gonna pass over these colonies to him when they're being developed enough. So our next target is gonna be this duchy here. Oh no, it's not gonna be that duchy. Can we do the one in the south? We cannot. Well, that is mildly disappointing. We can't wage war for the kingdom yet. And he does neighbor Key. So that puts a damper on our plans. We'll take it anyway. Because we're gonna need access to the rest of it. And it's gonna take 30 years before it's gonna take 30 years before holy wars become an option again. You're still trying to give me county titles. I don't want the county titles. Give me duchy ones, please. Come on with the siege engines. We'll accept that. You're fully built up. Let me have a quick look at our colonies in here. You're working on wolves, and you can be feudalized. So let's do hospices, and we'll move you to not here. We'll move you to the desert ones, I think. Yes, we will. So in regards to this one, the plan was to give it to him. Unfortunately, he's already maxed out. If I was to revoke your duchy, you'd accept, and you still have the lordship of Sithranor. So let's revoke it. I know, you're upset, but we're gonna give you Gryffindor, and we're gonna establish this duchy now. And we're gonna give you Gryffindor instead. If I can find it. There we go. So you should be happy now. The problem is we're way over our domain limit, but we have our full duchy in here. So this is now ours. We'll work on its development later. So we have both capitals of Gondor and Arnor now, which is what we wanted. You can stop recruiting. You don't have your special troops, that's fine. We'll march you north. And we can colonize somewhere else. Let's colonize this as well. We're gonna have to start work on Cardolan, but it can wait for a bit. Much quicker, please. We can at this point split you in half. We're gonna give the other army the order to march in that direction. How many troops? Quite a bit, but that's okay. We have plenty of troops to spare. And you can head in that direction. What about this way? No. You're gonna head there. There goes that particular one. Let's head north. Let's take this one. We can ransom people. Who can be sponsored? Mysticism, legendary skill. We'll pay for it. We'll see what book we get. We'll fight the wolves. This was in Glassrath. I think this is this one. We can start a construction guild. We'll dedicate it to both of them, that's fine. You can carry on. And there we are. That's the end of that war. We're gonna give this to locals, but first we're gonna change hold mystical communion, extort some more subjects, sell trivial titles. We're gonna go on another sailing voyage, but first we're gonna switch where our capital is. Before we do that, I'm just gonna quickly establish some hospices because again, we don't want diseases. We'll let you be with your fortifications, that's fine. And we'll let them keep the city centers as well. No camels. And we'll let you keep the fortifications there. We'll give this to locals. They're all of the same culture, I think. Where is the head of this duchy? It's there. Okay. Sure. You can hold 3 titles. Let's give this to someone else. You can hold 5. So we're gonna give you all of these. It will be some time before I can attack him for this, so we'll wait on that. We're gonna move the seat of kings. We're gonna move it back to Minas Tirith. Yep, we completely control the royal the Mesne. We could move it to Osgiliath as well, but I haven't rebuilt Osgiliath to full. How is Minas Ithil doing these days anyway? It still has the fading Morgul corruption. That's gonna take some time to clear off. And we could build this, but we'll wait on that. These are doing fine as well. So let's move our seat of kings to Minas Tirith. We can also move it to Umbar, which is interesting, but I'm not gonna move it to Umbar right now. We'll move it to Minas Tirith. And now we're gonna go on another sailing voyage. We're gonna go up the Guathlo again. We don't want to go to the Meneltarma quite yet. We want to alternate between our voyages. It's probably gonna cost us to repair the ship, and that's fine. He reduced his feudal taxes, which was not ideal. We're gonna extort the courtiers. So how much am I losing? Quite a bit. That's 2 a month. That adds up to quite a bit. So as soon as we get the option to modify his taxes, we shall. You have an unpressed claim there. And you have a bunch of unpressed claims as well. Hopefully this won't lead to shenanigans. Yeah, we're gonna win that. And we're gonna swiftly destroy this as well. We've made some money. I'll take the good omen. We have construction guilds and we have the town here. How are you for money? Not great. in the construction guilds in Glassrath. Yeah. You still want to give me county titles. I do not want county titles. Let's go for this duchy then. We have a lot of duchy titles to take from Belakar, so that's gonna take some time. Yeah, we're gonna win that bet. We're gonna go on a voyage of explorations on Great Rivers. No, we're gonna save them. I'm not gonna take promote culture. There goes the stress. Up the Guathlo we go. And now we face a bit of a problem because we could um, we could take this, unfortunately. Ah, but he's not my direct vassal. Yeah, we can raid him. That's fine. I'm sure you're doing your best. What do we have here? He wants to befriend me and he's sending me money. We'll sell onwards. We're gonna go in Rudaur to get some more trolls. We'll fish. No, we don't want you to get vengeful or deceitful. We're gonna go for calm instead. That's the bustling colony here done. We're not gonna feudalize this because it's part of the Dunedain culture group. Instead, what we're going to do, we're gonna give it to him. It's also the capital of the duchy. So what we're going to do, we're gonna give it to him, and that should change the culture group to his. And if we have a look, it did change to his culture group, which is what we wanted. He has absolutely no funds to speak of. We're gonna give him plenty of funds. And hopefully he should. Oh, that's nice. Sure, whatever. Hopefully he should feudalize it himself. This has been built up, so let's develop this instead. And we can colonize somewhere else. Let's colonize here. So have you feudalized it? We got 1500 gold there. Come on, you can feudalize this. We could restore the alliance. We're not gonna go to war anytime soon with Belakar. Before we do that, we're not gonna go to war with Belakar anytime soon, and he's not gonna live for long. So we'll just renew that alliance. We will be breaking that at some point soon, but not quite yet. Unknown rarity. What do we have in our own court in terms of small ones? Just a wild boar. Do you make shields? So did you give me one? You didn't give me anything, did you? Oh no. You gave me a shield. And it's absolutely awful. I'm gonna keep the Erlinghouse banner because there's no one I can give it to, and it will just go away. Is this? No, that's some way away. Come on, dude. Really? All you need to do is press a button. Sure, we'll spend on that book. Make it a higher quality, please. Uh, in the Marquisate of Kugathavuld. Right, you lost against the elves. They got rid of your duchy there, which is fine. This is on a stray faith now. I don't particularly care about that. More county titles. I do not want county titles. Give me the duchies, please. We have crafting, so let's start down the enchanting path. No, we won't be going to your feast, Serdan. I am soon holding a space, and hereby invite you to attend to the space. This is a horse thing. We could participate, but I don't think it's worth it. It's gonna cost us an arm and a leg to participate in it. How are you doing? You are doing fine. Let's see if we can remove this vassal away from you. Yes, it's unjust. We know it's unjust. So you can complete your duchy now. I'm gonna grant you your vassal. Do we have a claim on this duchy? We do not. Okay. We're also gonna take away your other vassal there. Yes, it's unjust. We know. Here's your proper duchy. We have Lonely Towns in Glassrath, that's in the north. And we have Spirits Banished in Agant. Agant. How long have I been recording? Well over an hour, so we're gonna stop here. It's good we've reached the Meneltarma. The United Kingdom has grown quite a bit. We're gonna carry on with developing this area because it's still quite empty. And next episode, we're probably gonna go to war in this area here. Uh, we do want to take away the kingdom of Lurm-Sakun, so that key doesn't expand in this area. Will block the way north, and we do want to continue to take away this chunk of land as well. And then we'll probably go to war with Key if we manage to form the Kingdom of Abrakan, which at the moment we cannot form. We only have 5 counties. How short are we of this? Quite short. We still need to take territories from here to have the necessary number of counties. You've expanded as well. Who are you? I'll have a look at this later. Um, so we're gonna cut off this episode here. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're enjoying the content, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.